Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I
The
don't talk
word
about
was
this.
not actually said; it was just implied, and he
I
only
don't.
feels
I
that
don't
to do it
talk
when
about
you
this.
leave.
I don't talk about those things on stream. I don't know what you're talking about.
Good man, good man. Keeping it classy.
I don't know how you can use classy and Reese in the same sentence, Digital.
Excuse me. I'm a very classy gentleman.
Everyone down at the strip club agrees.
Just because you have a thong with a bow tie doesn't make it classy.
I've never been to a strip club.
Yeah, because they all have warning posters out front.
You're a cheeky little shit sometimes, you know.
Do not accept checks from this man. Do not accept handshakes from this man.
Hey, even if I did go, I pay handsomely because I know they work hard.
On that, we agree. They work a hell of a lot harder than either of us do. The acrobatics that they can put on. I don't think even in my fittest days I was able to do that kind of stuff.
What, pole dancing?
I used to be able to, but then I got fat.
Pole dancing is just mind-boggling for me. Supporting a 150-pound body or whatever it is by wrapping
I used to be able to.
your leg
I used to be
around it.
able to pole dance, but then I got fat, so that didn't go good.
No.
Welcome to the Fat Club.
So then it became caber dancing.
Felina, I'm not a classy lady. I'm a classy gentleman. Okay, I have standards.
Even I know that that's a lie.
Which part, the lady part or the classy part?
Both? Question mark?
Yeah, the jury's still out on one of those words. I mean, Felina says Reese is a classy lady. I really have doubts about the word classy, but I mean, she's known Reese longer than any of us. I feel like she might have some inside knowledge there.
I ain't saying.
Wait. Felina knows Reese longer than Aroha?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Felina was the one that introduced us.
Precisely.
Oh.
And,
I did not know
and
that. I'm
Felina
sorry.
is now regretting that decision.
Yeah. I can't even see Felina's face, and I'm pretty sure she's showing instant regret.
And remember, it's really hard to read sarcasm when someone's typing. So when she says gentleman or classy.
Well, you don't think she was sincere when she said classy?
I'm not saying either way.
Felina, I am shocked and appalled. Sarcasm?
I mind the lady part, but at least she's telling the truth when she's saying I'm classy. I'm very classy.
You're a classy lady, let's face it, Reese.
What? I'm definitely not a lady, because...
You're definitely not classy.
I'm definitely not a lady. Do you want me to go back for a message history?
No, you don't need to do that.
There you go then. That proves I'm not a lady.
Calm down, everyone. She's getting her panties ruffled.
Yeah, stop ruffling your panties.
Yeah.
I think Reese likes it when I ruffle my panties.
She already had ruffle buds on.
Oh, you are definitely a classy lady, Felina.
Nice joke.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to go there, honestly. Like, not willingly.
There's only one place I wouldn't go, and that's New Zealand. What? What are you smiling at now? You got yourself into this.
Felina, save me!
I asked if you wanted to be my girlfriend, and you said yes. So you got yourself into this, woman.
You accepted him?
I'm wondering why I did.
Aren't we all?
I do not wear butt floss. I wear proper boxers. You noob. You absolute lump of mouldy knob cheese.
Did he just say butt cloth?
Yes, he did.
Oh.
Thong, you know.
Oh. I had no idea the context. Literally all I heard was butt cloth.
I can still best you. Felina, you can try and best me. You won't get a chance anywhere near me.
I wouldn't be so sure, Ruth.
You know what? I'm debating whether to save up for next year, either for TwitchCon 2021 or New Zealand. It's a
You
toss
need
up
to
at the moment.
go to Malta.
Because I can only go to one or the other.
I have a
Yeah, so
feeling
do
I
neither.
know
Go to
who's going
Malta.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, Rover.
I have a feeling I know it's going to win out. But
You'd be surprised. It's a lot cheaper for me to go to America. I'm just saying.
I know.
They also have to accept you here.
I can go there direct.
Yeah,
And it takes me 11 hours. If I go to you, it'd take me 32 hours, and I have to change twice.
it's cheaper to go to America, but why would you? I mean,
Because
the place is crawling with Americans.
because freedom and guns. Freedom and guns.
No, you're not. You're not familiar with the new America. Freedom is a thing of the past.
And literally 99% of my Twitch friends live in America, and probably most of them will be going to Twitch.
Oh.
Wait, what do you say?
99% of my Twitch friends live in America, so that's probably where I'll be going. Because there's a lot. I know a lot more Americans than I do New Zealanders.
I know a lot of New
Oh,
Zealanders.
sorry, fake Australians.
But if you're a classy gentleman, you'll go see your woman.
I'm not classy though.
I thought you just argued that you were.
That's
We
We all agreed that you were classy.
He argues a lot of things. They don't all have to make sense or not contradict each other.
I'd never make sense.
I want you to educate him, Felina.
My vote's for either.
I like both, but I prefer being educated. Both.
Well, then I go for the thwack.
Well, you've gotten your education option.
Ah!
Right. She's
You're
muted.
so loud, Felina!
So,
It took me
Since
2
we have-
seconds to mute her.
Oh,
So
someone's
We
getting
have
an
to,
ass beaten, and I'm glad I'm here for it.
I am
since we
actually
have to
banned from
educate
Twitch
the
now.
little
I
shit.
feel it coming.
unmute me before I kick you out of here faster than you can blink your eyes.
I love how she thinks I can hear her.
Well, he asked for it.
No, I'm joking.
I think most servers punish people for blocking and muting mods and so forth.
I mean, I was nice this time. I've been nice twice. I don't know what else to do. Because if I'm any more mean,
Well,
I'd be being nice to him.
to be fair, Chabby did warn him that he was seconds away from getting kicked again earlier, so...
Yes, but he's a complete twat. There are days that he makes 0 sense, and he can sit here and hear me talk about this because I know you're still sitting in the channel. Let me indulge you. America is not the greatest place in the world anymore.
Nope.
It will never be again. Do you know why? Because we stopped working together, and now we want to kill each other. It's either left, right, no, left, right, but there is no gray area. It's either black or white. You're either a gun-toting Republican, or you want to steal every one of those Republican guys' guns. Stay in Europe, or go to Arha. You don't want to be here, because if you do, you're going to end up dead. Don't be stupid. And that's all I got on that one.
Nice and succinct.
Thank you.
I feel like ending up dead is the most likely of eventualities.
I fully expect that there will be... The Third World War will actually be America taking each other on.
Yeah,
They're
I
just
could
going to
see
kill
that.
each other.
I could see that.
I fully expect it.
There's such divisive shit going on there.
All right. That's not cool. And if I was a mod in the chat, I'd freaking knock you upside the head for that too.
Oh,
I'm on
sorry, are you not a mod in chat?
I'm not. But by God, sometimes I think I ought to be.
Oh, we can fix that.
Should I go now? Like, is this like a
No,
time?
you're
where I
fine.
should-
You're fine. You stick around. I don't mind. He is Oh, hello, thank you. You know, Reese, this is what you get. I mean, you know what? I think that's completely legitimate. I'm okay with that. But I think at some point you have to stop thinking that America's the greatest country in the world. Because if you listen to enough people, there are way better places than America. Believe me.
You'll know it's
Even
circled,
I can tell you that.
it's circled the drain pretty hard in the last
Oh
Well,
my God.
the last few years, really, just since Obama went out.
I'm going to be honest, Double D.
Mm.
I could tell you when I think that America stopped being what it was.
What's that?
I feel like everything severely went downhill after the situation with President Clinton
You
in the
think that-
90s.
You think that was
That started a lot of it. I could tell
Country
you
lost complete respect for its presidents after that.
exactly. The other thing on top of all of that, because it was so taboo for one, is the fact that you also saw the extreme influence and rise of 24-hour-a-day news media.
Oh, that was Desert Storm though. That wasn't
It
Clinton,
was
that
all
Desert
right there
Storm.
in that same 5-year span though, Double D. It was
Yeah.
all right there. Just bam, 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 bam. All right there.
Desert Storm was when they started the 24/7 coverage of things and just reiterate, just spam people with the same information over and over.
Yep. And now you either have the President Trump channel,
Yep.
you have the Nancy Pelosi channel, and then you have me, who goes and watches BBC because they don't have a reason to tell you one way or the other. They just report on it.
And then you got
You
people,
draw your own conclusions.
and then you got people like me who don't pay for TV because it's a giant waste of
Oh,
money.
I have to watch it. It's frustrating. Believe me.
You know, my blood pressure's never been happier than not
Oh my
having TV.
My blood pressure's gone up since this whole fiasco. My father, he is not a bright man. My mother's not exactly the brightest light in the box either. But I accept her for her stupidity.
They both
I
voted
don't
Trump.
know what
didn't
my
they?
blood pressure is done.
I'm gonna be fair and say my great-grandmother, who lived through the Great Depression, is rolling in her grave right now. I guarantee it.
Yeah, we're
It's
we're repeating all of the same shit from.
I cannot imagine
100
what
years
she would have
ago.
said. I have a good idea what she would have said. But she'd have been classy about it because she's a classy lady.
She probably would have said something to the effect of, "I wish I was dead."
She would have said that we had lost sight of what made us. So
It's a nice way to put it.
that's the classy way of putting it, don't you think?
I feel like it understates it, though. To be honest.
I mean, she was a woman of few words. My grandfather was the same way, man of very, very few words. You could just tell by the way he acted. And you were brought up that way.
Learn to read the room, kind of thing.
I mean, children were to be seen and not heard.
Oh yeah, that's a whole generational thing, though.
Yep. And I was brought up in that generational thing. Children
Wait.
are to be seen, not heard.
You explain that to me, and I feel like I'm going to get it messed up again.
Alright, let me explain to you why children are to be seen and not heard. Because when I was a child, Booty, when you went out to the grocery store, if the only time you would hear a child crying is if it was an infant or very young child who could not express any other way. If you were
Hey, thanks,
misbehaving in the store, in any way, shape, or form, you were removed. The
You went
parents
back
took
out to the
you
vehicle.
out. there was no law about sitting in the car. And by the way, they didn't have AC in a lot of the cars that we had back in my day.
Oh, never mind. They'd sit out in the car with you happily and tan your fucking
Yes,
hide.
they would. Yes, they would. And there was no, oh, it's child abuse, because you sat in the car and you sat in the car with them and y'all had the windows down and that was it. There was no child abuse there. I mean, there still could be. I kind of came from some of it, but that's not the point.
No, there's a lot of people that would greatly benefit from an ass whooping. Like,
Oh my God. The amount of children and I walk past,
I know.
even in the store, and I look at them and I'm like, my God, if I tanned your hide, how you'd fucking act. Oh, boils my blood.
I used to
Anyway.
work in a grocery store and I had to deal with that shit all the time.
It boils my blood. I can't even go out anymore like that. It makes me so upset because I'm just like, parents aren't parents anymore because they aren't allowed to parent.
Nope.
Correct.
Dad, he let me pick out the belt.
You know what, honey?
That's kind of cruel.
I'm going to be honest. That's the way it was for me too. Except my parents were never there. So when they were there, that's when I got my ass tanned. Frequently.
Regularly and with a mucho gusto.
Yeah, pretty much daily. Yeah.
Well, you know, if you weren't such a fuck up. Geez.
Oh, I know. I've never done anything right in my entire life, I promise.
Neither have I.
Might be a slight exaggeration.
I don't know. Are you going to act like a complete dipshit? I'm sorry. I guess I just don't have a filter anymore. As I've gotten older, I give less fucks about having a filter. I only have a filter when it comes to younger people because they seem to have this special snowflake syndrome which makes them immune. But I was grown up with the whole fact of like, you need to be able to take the hard talk and stop being such a bitch. And that's just the way it was. And if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all type of thing.
I'm fine with you coming back, Reese. It's just a matter of if you piss her off.
Yeah.
If you don't piss her off, all will be well.
Stop acting like a dipshit. It'll be fine.
Well, okay, baby steps. Be nice.
So my back.
Anyway.
Hi, Felina.
Hi.
By the way, Chibbles adores you already.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Thank you. But at the same time, I need to post apologize for this digital. I had no idea this was gonna leak into everybody else's lives a little bit.
Oh, that's fine.
But to be fair,
a little drama gooses the ratings, right?
Right. But to be fair, they are kind of just pretty well perfect for each other if you listen to them long enough. It's kind of funny.
It's cute.
Oh, just get over it, Arha.
I feel like,
Sweetheart.
You and your community need to stop matchmaking, okay?
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not
Your
matchmaking
other
it.
friend who introduced me and someone I'm with right now. Yeah.
Who are you what are you talking about? Oh, I have not heard about this. Please enlighten me.
Wait, she doesn't know about that.
What?
Well, now she does.
Somebody tell me, because I am now intrigued.
We call him worldwide boyfriend because.
Oh, is he one of those? Is he one of those hits on every lady he sees type of boys?
No, he's one of those. He's one of those
Australia Junior.
Kiwi born and bred kind of boys.
Do you know Mario the Old Soul?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Miss
Glenn. It's Glenn. Oh, I have an
inclination about this, but I never speak about things that are not told to me. It's a respect thing. I had my inclinations that mayhaps there was something going on. You've been had. I kind of knew. But until you told me, until you would have told me, I'd have never said a word. But you opened your mouth and confirmed exactly what I suspected.
I wasn't hiding it.
Well, I didn't realize that this was going to turn into Days of Our Lives, but...
It has kind of taken a turn.
I know, right? I'm so sorry. This is my first time in here to visit with you, and everybody's it's just become a mess. A giant fiasco.
It's all hitting the
Yeah,
wall.
on February 29th, he was trying to get what's it called working,
Mm-hmm.
the farming game. It wasn't
Mhm.
working. I joined in the voice chat, and he was like, "Hey, he's about your age too." And then we started talking, and then by March
Oh my
2nd,
god.
we're like,
I wondered about that. I wondered when it was, and now that you're talking about it, honestly, I've had so much going on in my life right now
So
that
have
it's
I.
oh, believe me, it's a mess. So, yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad to see that everybody's growing and blossoming as people. This is
I'm
good.
getting kicked out.
Excuse me. Me growing and blossoming.
I mean,
Like a little flower.
I'm going to be honest. I've never heard you as happy as I hear you on a daily basis when I come in here, Arha. You just shut up. You're not allowed. I'm not going to... You just shut up over there. You're good. Don't tell me you're not.
Oh my god! I
Dude,
just
shut up.
realized. Is today the
I
7th?
mean, the second part,
Today's the 7th.
you could just not tell me that you're not happy because you are lying because you are happy because I know I hear it. And the rest of it, if you want to talk. I don't care. Life is good. I'm gonna sit here, sip on my Coke Zero, and smoke my vape, and listen to you guys. It's great.
Oh, my dog is so cute.
My goodness, Flynn, you are entertaining.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, we have someone for that role already.
Hey, shut up!
That
Shut
job
up!
is taken.
I'm gonna be honest.
Quiet.
I'm gonna be honest. We both have the same disorder. It's why the day that the whole thing went down with your dad, Booty, I couldn't. It actually gave me flashbacks, like PTSD volume flashbacks. Hi, Mickey. Mickey been in here lurking too. Look at this.
Yeah,
They still refuse to diagnose me.
Mick
Oh,
often
honey.
lurks.
You won't be diagnosed till you're closer to my age. You're just gonna
They
have
won't
to
even
understand
diagnose
it.
me with basic bitch depression or basic bitch anxiety. Like, they won't. They're like, well, we treat the
It's-
symptoms. Like,
Yeah, no, it's a whole like phenomenon in the American healthcare system. It's called
we don't
quote.
want to label you.
Oh no, Booty. Believe me, it's called practicing medicine. Believe me, I'm air quoting practicing medicine. None of them know what the fuck they're even talking about. It's fine. We both know what you've got. Now, you take better care of yourself. You're more mindful. You get away from the situation which causes you to be triggered and have these issues, and all is well in the world. See?
Except for when you're stuck at home with them.
Honey, you're only a few... You're what? You're 17? I'm going to guess 17 and a half now.
She's like a month away from 18.
See? I
A
was pretty
month and
close.
3 days, and I'm getting kicked out. I have
Here's
nowhere
the
to
deal.
go.
Honey, think about this. What would you like to do with your life?
I don't know.
How about this? How about you just start simple? Let's go with the KISS method of the keep it simple stupid method. Let's go find a job and find you an apartment. The rest of it, it'll fall into place eventually. Find you a roommate, find an apartment, move out, get a job. All will come out in the wash, I promise. I promise.
No one hires me. I've applied for like...
Nobody's hiring anyone, sweetheart.
No. Like, no. Before all
still.
this quarantine happened, no one would hire me.
I mean, where were you applying?
Literally everywhere.
I'm gonna probably say you're wrong. Have you applied? Did you apply at all of the fast food restaurants? Did you apply at the grocery stores? Did you apply?
Grocery store ghosted me.
Okay, that doesn't mean you just give up. You harass the shit out of them until you find a job. The whole thing is you put a face to a name. If you show up and say, "Hey, still looking for that job. Haven't heard from you. Kind of curious what's going on." Then you do that enough, they're gonna remember you. It's kind of how this works.
They're way more
Welcome to
likely
America.
to give you a job if you come back and bang on their door a couple of times than if you just go away and never come back.
I got very lucky with my job that I've got now. I have a very unique skill set, and I found these guys online. And what I did was I called up here and I said, "Hey, I'd like to talk to your HR person." And on the phone, I said, "I want you to know I know exactly what type of device is on your website." And I rattled it off to her. And then I started talking about all this back knowledge I had and all of these things I knew. And before I even hung up the phone, Booty, the lady was begging me to send her my resume. I basically had the job before I hung up the phone.
So I got a job, and then I had to go out on, I guess you would say, disability, because my doctor said that I couldn't work because my ankle was in such bad condition.
Okay, so you went on temporary leave of absence. What about it?
It was before I even turned, so it was in the process of getting all the paperwork done.
Okay, and then?
So I had to quit.
Uh-huh.
So I had to not accept the position or whatever.
I mean...
So now I can't go back there because I don't think they're able to hire me.
If you didn't accept the position and you were never paid a paycheck, it doesn't matter. It comes out in the wash. Go back.
Yeah,
okay.
It'll be fine.
Yes, explain to them, hey, this was the situation. I was kind of in, I was in dire straits and I wasn't going to be able to perform the job, the essential functions of the job for you like I should be able to. That makes you sound intelligent.
Okay.
And then go, I really still want this job. What, can I work with you? Can we come up with a plan? That's how you go about it. Especially if you would have came to them and said, hey, listen, the doctor's telling me this is what's happening. I still want this job. Can I call you later when this is all worked out? That also makes you sound really intelligent and prepared and still want the job. You have to show employers you want to work. Because in America, not very many people do want to anymore.
But when I go and I'm able to get a job again, like I'm going to try applying different places since I'll be 18 by then. Like, I'm going to try not going back to that company, but if I have to, I will. Because it's not a good
everything
company.
Everything is open. All doors are open until the door is closed, and even then it's not closed, there's still a window open. You never completely stop looking. No. You never stop looking. And let me tell you why. Because at a very young age, the more experience you get, the faster you find something else. So if you start at, say, a Taco Bell, for instance, and you hate this one manager, but you've worked there 4 or 5 months, and you walk into some other restaurant, maybe it's a ritzy Italian joint, okay? And they're looking for a waitress. And you go and you say, hey, I have 4 months experience with this company, but I'm looking to separate because I disagree with their management style, for instance. That's going to look, number one, intelligent, and number two, like you're being proactive. You're not going to drop out on somebody just because. See what I'm saying? You never completely stop looking, because the minute you do, you stagnate, and stagnation causes issues when you decide you do want to change. My mom had to learn that the very, very hard way.
I had a job and I was able to do it, except for I couldn't do, like, I was able to physically do it, and like I had the skills, but I couldn't do it because I was allergic to all the chemicals.
You know what?
Which fucking
That's fair.
sucked.
That's fair.
So, because
Shit like
I worked there for literally 2 days, because, I had an allergic reaction, it's like, look, bro, I got a dip. I just don't bring that up ever again.
I mean, that's something you have to have a conversation about, because you don't know what cleaning supplies they're using, what they're going to require you to do. These are things you still have to talk about.
Yeah, no, like, I'll mention, like, if they mention cleaning supplies, I'm going to be like, hey, look, but just the cleaning supplies that they weren't just basic, like, it wasn't just spray down, the little belt on the register. No, it was, like, sanitizing raw meat and sterilizing it. It was, like, super heavy-duty stuff.
And that's fair.
So I just won't I'll just be like, hey, look, I can't do this position because I don't know what's in here. And if I have an allergic reaction, it ain't going away for a week.
Well, but if you're if you're exposing them like right at the get-go and say, I'm allergic, I know I'm allergic to this, this, and this. If you have any of these chemicals, I will not be able to perform that function of the job.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be able to make you reasonable accommodation. Welcome to America. They have to be able to accommodate.
Yeah, but sometimes, shit happens, so I won't. What I'm saying is I'm not going to take a job dishwashing.
Why not? Dawn gonna hurt your hands?
Huh?
Why? Dawn gonna hurt your hands?
Well, depending. Okay, I'm not. Okay, let me rephrase. I'm not going
much
to.
harsher chemicals than Dawn in a dishwasher in restaurants.
Yeah,
they do now.
I know that from experience.
They do now. They used to not
always have.
Yeah, they always have. It's pretty toxic shit.
Oh, I know. It's nasty. Believe me. I worked many, many years in restaurants. That doesn't make it the best thing ever. Doesn't make it the worst thing ever.
No,
but you got to start with somewhere.
The chemicals that they use, I could see if she's got a problem with chemicals.
Yeah,
it was hard to do.
But that also makes it very difficult when it comes to absolutely anything else. You're talking about the sanitation of any sort of deli-based, grocery store, deli, any food service job. That literally probably almost cuts out 90% of the things that she could potentially start at. Although, in her case, to be fair, Booty, if you really want to, Walmart's hiring.
No, they're not. They won't hire me.
Why not?
Because I've called multiple times and they're like, nah, we're good.
Well, but here's, I'm gonna pull Chris. I'm gonna pull one of these that I pulled on Chris. There are 2 stores here in town where I live.
Mm-hmm.
My lovely, intelligent boyfriend thought it would be a good plan to only inquire about one. Now, I'm gonna tell you, as an old woman, and I'm sure Double D knows what I'm talking about, you do not just inquire about one when you're doing a transfer. You always inquire about both.
Yeah, because then one of them can make you an offer that the other one has to match if they don't want to lose you.
Yep, pretty much. And so he kind of kept dicking around with this one particular store. And I kept telling him and basically railing on him that he was being very, very naive regarding it. See, this is me trying to censor myself.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It was one of those not so bright choices. So I forced him at within the last 2 weeks. I forced him to call. Before he moved out here, he was 2 weeks from moving out here. And I forced him to call. And he talked to the lady on the phone. He explained the situation. And the lady says, absolutely. If you're okay with being a cashier, we would love to have you. And he says, yes, ma'am. Do I have the potential for going back to my old job? And she says, absolutely. You know what? He didn't even last as a cashier 6 months. He didn't even last I think he lasted like 3 months, and they had already re-promoted him back to his old job.
Yeah, you just got to be willing to prove that you can and are able to work.
Yeah, you have to want it. And if you're going to call, you can't just call every time, Booty. Calling is one thing. That's great. But sometimes you have to go and put a face to them. And if they see you enough times, sometimes you get lucky.
And unfortunately, sometimes you have to start at the bottom for a while, but it's just the means of climbing up the ladder to get to a better.
And to be fair, it's not like you can't do cap work. Believe me, now that I know all of the Walmart terms, you could be on cap team and stock stuff.
Oh.
You could be a cashier. That wouldn't hurt you. You could be on OGP, which is online grocery pickup. You could do all of those things. Most of them don't involve chemicals.
My mom said that I can probably get in with the floral department at the local, because so she works. I'm just gonna say ShopRite. So she works at ShopRite. She works at one that's like 20 minutes away, but there's like 8 of them that are really close, and they're all same owner. So she said that the one closer to us needs floral help, but I can't do floral until I'm 18. So I might be able to get in with floral when I'm 18, because what she said is that if I could get a job as cashier, and then once I turned 18, they would transfer me to the floral department, I'd be willing to do that. I kind of know a little bit about floral. Not much, but you learn.
You do what you gotta do. I mean, if I told you were gonna be a cake decorator, you'd look at me and go, I don't know shit, and I'd go, well, that's what training's for.
If you told me I was going to be a cake director, that, I can't speak, I would say, just don't put me in this fucking store, and it would be a great time.
Why? What's wrong with being a cake decorator?
No, it just depends on what location I'm in.
I mean, sometimes you don't get the choice, and sometimes you have to put up with a shit job to get from point A to point B.
And I will not work with my dad, ever.
And that's one of those things that I feel like, wait.
My dad works in the bakery.
Oh, God. All of a sudden, everything, like, it's like 1 + 1 = potato. It's all making sense now.
Yeah, that's why I refuse to
No,
work in
there's
West
no
Bedford.
baking involved in this. It's not even sweet potatoes. We're talking, like, russet, out of the ground, still covered in mud. It's 1 + 1 = potato right now, and I am okay with it.
Wait, what's your 1 + 1 = potato, and everything's all making sense now?
It all makes sense. I get it now.
What do you get? Because I'm still lost.
It's okay. You'll get it when you're older.
Oh, that he has a shit job for all of his life, and that's why he's so miserable and treats me like shit?
No.
That?
I mean, yes, but no. I mean, it all kind of makes sense. Yeah. Like, the whole, like, purpose, the whole reason that you are the way you are makes absolute 150% sense to me now. I'm like,
Because he's a baker?
I mean,
Okay.
no, I wouldn't use that. I would say that you got shafted in the life department. That's like putting it nicely.
Basically, I got screwed over when I was getting creative.
I mean, I'm going to say it like this. You have two parents who, to me, look like they had no ambition to live more life than apparently working at a grocery store.
My mom got screwed over.
They probably had kids early, young in life, also not exactly the brightest
That was
idea.
my dad.
And
they're for health insurance.
Yep, and at the end of the day, none of this helps the kids because what ends up happening is, well, mom and dad are always working because something like that never leaves home time. Welcome to America. Yippee.
Mm-hmm. Neither one of them sounds like they have a career job kind of thing.
Nope, they don't. And then what that ends up doing is that destroys a family. People don't know that. People don't realize that. But that's exactly what destroys families, is the fact that, like, the way that American society has treated work, where if you call in sick, it's a crime. You feel guilt for calling in sick. They guilt you for being ill and not passing it on.
My
That's
parents
not
don't
okay.
have sick days. They have vacation days.
They have the same problem I do. Believe me. It's the same problem my boyfriend does. The point remains that you have to strive to be more than where you came from.
Yeah.
Oh God, here we go. I'm going to preach a whole story that I've preached once before.
Wait, hold on. Before you do that, I have a quick question.
Sure.
Why do you have to be 18 to be a florist?
Sharp things.
That doesn't make shit bit of difference. I don't know that. Okay.
That doesn't
I guess
help
for
me,
insurance,
but okay.
Chibbles, I would say probably for insurance purposes.
Liability.
I would assume it's for insurance purposes.
Which is the funny thing, because when I was in 8th grade, it was my mom, who was the oldest person in the department, and the manager, who's always saying, you need to be careful about this, who sliced her arm open by accident and had to get stitches.
I mean, I'm still not okay.
But basically, if a minor gets hurt at work, they're worried about, my guess is they're worried about parents coming screaming, throwing a fucking fit. But if you're 18, then it's your own responsibility.
It's still, no matter what, work comp is work comp, but it's probably looks a hell of a lot worse if it's a minor.
That one sort of baffles me, because dealing with money or receipts, cards, you can slice yourself in any sort of way. But I guess if you're dealing with scissors that are cutting flowers, that's still...
No, like a giant chopper, it's like a giant chopper that can do like a whole bundle of flowers at once. Like it's heavy duty. Like,
It'd be like
machinery.
it would be
Yeah.
like we're cutting meat at a deli.
Yeah, like a deli.
It's a piece of electric equipment that can, and if you're unattentive, which children can be, will cause pain and hurt people. So that is that.
Yeah, I've seen enough pictures of that, but it used to be you couldn't work at that place unless you were 18. And then they opened it up to 16 for cashiers.
I was gonna say, I think once you're 16 up here, I think you can work with sharp things as long as you agree to know what you're working with.
And you can't work with you can't work at the pet store until you're 18 because of animals. You can't buy a freaking 32-cent goldfish if you're not 18. It's fucking annoying.
I guess that's America for you. That's baffling. Wow.
I went out to buy a goldfish and they said, no, you're not 18.
Gotta idiot-proof everything.
I mean, my mom wouldn't have been too thrilled about. Like, I told her I was getting it. Like, but
Reese is over here having a seizure because he forgot to push a button.
Talking to himself for 10 minutes.
I mean, to be fair, he
the
probably
circle was
considered
lit up
that
the whole time.
Oh, I know. He probably considered that to be the most intelligent conversation he's had all day.
No one was back talking him.
That's right.
Man,
Nobody was talking shit.
everybody's agreeing with me. I love this. Oh, they can't hear me.
Oh, goodness. Anyway.
Booty, if it makes you feel any better, I sat on
It
unemployment
probably won't.
for a whole year with a degree.
I mean, having a degree is one thing. Having the practical knowledge to use it is a completely different one.
Yeah.
So, your mileage may vary, but what I'm going to tell you is always aspire, especially because I could tell you a story about this. Believe me, like I said, I've preached this story before. Don't ever assume that you are worth exactly your parents' life. Never going to be the way that is.
you know, like my sister, I feel really bad for her. She got a job and she turned down a job doing dispatch for 911, the police, because she had this job and she had a job. She just got promoted, and then she just lost it because our governor's a piece of shit.
I don't really think the governor is a piece of shit as much as it's been one of those things where, like, the entirety of the government and, like, our complete shutdown has destroyed the economy from, I mean, they're talking like it's worse than 1986 or 7. I'm gonna be fair and say this is getting to the point of like 1930s Great Depression levels of bad.
Yep.
So basically, our
to the point
specific
we've
governor,
never seen it.
He's on a power trip or whatever.
I don't think Governor Cuomo's on a power trip. I honestly think you probably should listen to the guy. He's not the stupidest.
We don't have who's that?
Oh, you're talking about the Pennsylvania governor. I was like,
no, New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey.
Yeah,
okay,
basically, what I was told, what my dad said, he was basically doing something to try and get more money, and then he didn't get the money, so now people are getting cut. So my sister's a fucking EMT.
I mean,
so she just lost her job.
So he was gambling.
She was fresh out of school, though.
She could go anywhere else she wants to. She doesn't have to stay in Jersey.
Yeah,
she's still in college.
He was gambling with people's lives, effectively, with this.
I mean, that's not surprising. It's career politics. The first problem we've ever had in our entire, the first problem that's not been fixed in recent history. Career politics. Do you realize, Double D, how many people? How many career politicians? If we kicked all of them out, what the fuck would happen? It'd be like utter chaos.
I wish they'd kick them out. Fucking career politicians are the worst thing that
ever happened to this country.
North America.
Ever happened to this country.
On par with smallpox blankets, I would say. I
mean, I can't I will never understand. I'll just put it that way. I will never understand it. Don't know as if I ever want to.
They are a blight on the people and the system that they are supposed to serve.
Well, they realized they could make a quick buck, and that's what exactly this whole, government is now. It's all about making their quick buck and to hell with everybody
Screw
else.
everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
anyway. It is what it is.
So, Felina, are you from the eastern part of the States too?
I unironically live in the Midwest.
Fair enough.
Wait, don't you? Oh wait, I don't want to. Never mind. I don't want to say it if you're not.
I wasn't looking for location. I was more just curious.
I live in the Midwest, and I've lived in the Midwest my entire life. And to be fair, the furthest I've ever went away from home, and by home I mean within like a 3 or 4 state area, is when I flew to Boston. And I've only really been there a handful of times. I've never seen much more than what I have here. I guess I see life through, rose-tinted glass.
No, it just put a little bit of perspective. I was just curious. So.
Yeah.
That reminds me of this moment. There's this one moment on BBC television where this one reporter was talking. Instead of rose-tinted glasses, he accidentally said rose-cunted glasses. On national television, it's funny.
Sometimes
That's a career ender right there.
Well, it would have been in America, not in the UK. Come on, they talk about less. They talk about more vile things with better words. Come on, they really have better words. I have to admit.
We're great at swearing. We're the best.
Digital, you're going to have to teach me.
Teach him what?
How to swear?
Teach what?
I'm not... Yes, pretty much.
Do you want to learn how to swear?
If you want to swear, right? If you want to swear, put the word fucking in front of literally any food, and it works as an insult.
Hey, Reese.
What?
Stop being a little git. Fuck off, you twat.
Listen, I will cut you down and serve you as prime meat if you don't calm down.
You
Right?
be nice to Felina.
You really want to? You really want to go? You want to go again?
You are literally the moldiest lump of blue knob cheese I've ever seen in my life.
And by the way, that is the worst insult I've ever heard in my entire life. You need to wrestle Jimmy's a little harder than that. By the way, probably need to pull up your undergarments.
You used that one tonight already.
Arrow was the only person who
it really wasn't good.
Should I go?
Nope, you're fine. You stick around. This got entertaining. I'm actually sitting here enjoying myself.
Sure you are.
I take it it's a quiet night at work, Felina.
I'll put it this way. I spent like most of Kiwa's stream working.
Yeah.
And then I finally got everything sort of nailed down. So I'm lounging. I think I'm allowed.
So we just had an issue, and now I'm really sad because I left money in my car, so now I'm probably never going to see it again.
I mean, that's usually how it goes.
Dad's pretty good at helping himself to everything else, so. Your dad's pretty good at helping himself to everything else.
Yeah.
So
we had devil dogs, and we
piece
never
of
have
shit.
fucking devil dogs, and there's a pack of 8. So there's 3 of us. So I hid 2 in the freezer because I like them frozen. And I hid them. And then I go to get one, and I'm like, they're both gone. And I asked him, I was like, did you eat them? He goes, well, yeah. I'm like, you fucking bet.
The joys of
got
the
us
things
like
that
some
used to trigger
sandwiches.
me and no longer.
Huh?
I'm gonna be honest, Booty. The one thing that I finally had to learn, and it took me a very long time, was the fact that this will never change.
Yep.
This will stay stagnant. The 2 of them and their lack thereof of being parents will stay stagnant. What will change is your outlook on things, the way you do things, and who you interact with, including them. And to be fair, I'm going to be honest and say, it's in your best interest to just kind of remember this day, and when it's all said and done, close your eyes, walk away, and don't look back. Because you're always going to second guess yourself. But I'm going to tell you, as somebody who's came out on the other side, just keep walking. Because the further you walk away, the more you realize it's okay, and you're going to start sprinting ahead instead of walking.
So, this kind of reminds me. So basically, for my therapy, you have to come up with a treatment plan, and my mom had to be involved in it. So, for the first half of it, I said what I wanted to, get out of it, and I said I wanted to be able to put up with my dad's bullshit. Not, I want to fix it. And guess now what we're doing? Now we're working on fixing it.
You can't fix stupid.
Like, exactly. Like, there's no way it's getting fixed. I just want to learn how to deal with it until I can get out of it. But nope, I don't get a say in my therapy.
Man, I really do have less of I have the worst mental, the worst mindset on a lot of this. I'm just like, you can't fix stupid. There is no such thing as fixing stupid.
You really
can't.
It
will never happen. You cannot fix it. You don't want to fix it.
Out of therapy, it's not getting fixed.
No.
Just instead of trying to fix something that can't be fixed, teach me how to deal with it. Because if I sit here and try and fix it and then it's not working, and you're sitting here making me think that, oh, I can fix this when I really can't, you really think that's going to help me? No, that's just going to make me feel like fucking shit.
To be fair, honey, what they're really trying to say is we don't really know that what you're going through is actually abuse, because nobody actually tells you that. Nobody will either. That's the worst part. What you're going through is abuse. To an extent that which you will never, ever, 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 ever go through again. Believe me, you'll grow out of this and you'll realize that was the stupidest fucking thing.
For the record, I told her that a long time ago, and
I didn't get it.
I stand by it. It didn't take very long for me to figure out what her dad especially puts her through is it. It is.
Oh, it makes me upset.
It is in some capacity abuse. It's just a question of.
Oh, it's no. There's no subtle. In any it's not a capacity issue. It is abuse.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, it was physical, emotional, and verbal.
Oh,
so
you had the trifecta.
I had the trifecta, which is why I ended up as messed up as I am. So when she says she's sorry, the reason that she says she's sorry is because you're always all your reactions are based on your preconceived everything that's happened before.
Yeah.
So when she says she's sorry, she's not so much sorry, and in some ways she is. She's not so much sorry as she just wants you to not be angry with her, because all she's ever felt, and if you cry, honey, I'm not going to be upset with you. All she's ever felt is anger.
Mm-hmm.
It's always negative energy, negative emotion, anger, violence. It could be any number of things. It's always going to be there. In her mind, it's always going to be there because nothing's ever changed.
No.
And the only way for it to change is for her to get away from it and her to see that there's something that's not that.
Yeah, there's something better out there than what she's been taught.
Yep.
I know.
Which is why, like I said, the day that I was sitting there listening to her father, it made me so upset that I actually, after I hung up, I cried because it actually triggered me so bad that I basically had a flashback meltdown of all of the shit that happened to me as a kid.
Probably a good thing you weren't here. Was it yesterday, I think?
Probably.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's
It's
fine.
okay. But now you understand. You understand why I did it.
Her phone didn't mute when she was leaving? Okay, that's fair, Reese.
What did he say?
He's going to leave. He doesn't feel he can contribute.
That's fair.
Her phone didn't mute when she left to do some stuff, and when she came back arguing with her dad, it was a little bit of insight into things at home that, like, for example, Chibbles was like, oh, I had no idea, what she was dealing with there. Yeah, I talked to her a little bit. And
it was very It very much was like I bought. Basically, the day that happened, I'm gonna be honest. It was like I walked back 20 years in my life, and
I still remember that day.
And I was that girl. I was that little girl again, and I could. It broke me. It broke me for 2 weeks after that.
I'm sorry,
honey. It's okay. We all go through the shit. It's never going to be your fault. It's not your fault. It's his fault. He's an asshole. And the one thing that I did when I got old enough was I fought back. I stopped letting him treat me like that. Especially as an adult. You want to know what happened to him?
what?
The last time we got into it.
You said that
the last time him and I got into it, I put him into my mom's car, picked him up. I'm not a very strong person. I was so angry, I picked him up by the scruff of his shirt booty and put him into the car. And I looked at him and I said, the next time I see you, I hope you're 6 feet under. I packed my stuff and I walked away.
Well, you wouldn't have